back to the definition and know every morning, if you tell this to yourself, the next 21 days is going to transform your life. The recording. An entrepreneur is a star. I come again finally. A star, innovator, an initiator who sets up a business or businesses, identifies and solves problems, maximizes opportunities, takes risk, and adventures into new territories. It doesn't matter the location, it doesn't matter the market, new territories. Drives against all odds with an open mind to win the markets with the view of making and maximizing profits from his business. So every entrepreneur is already familiar with all these points I've just listed. Every entrepreneur is familiar with problem solving, is familiar with identifying and maximizing opportunities, is familiar with creating business, is familiar with taking risk, is familiar with entering new territories. New territories is going to mean new locations that have not been explored before by you. Locations that have not been explored before by you. Example, if your territory now is Ikotu, that is your territory, then you are adventuring into that territory as an entrepreneur. You are entering that market. If we want to capture Lagos, Lagos is our territory. We are entering that territory. So an entrepreneur adventures into new territory. You can enter Imo State. You can enter any part of the world. That is the duty of an entrepreneur. He enters into new territories in order to win. He drives against all odds. Why will I add all odds? Because Nigeria is a major odd, but as far as we have a major concentration of odds in Nigeria, we also have a concentration of opportunities. Praise the Lord. Now, let me help us to understand this. As an entrepreneur, how do you recognize opportunities? How do you recognize opportunities? How do you recognize opportunities? One of the best ways to recognize opportunities is to look at people's problems and people's challenges. Observe what people have as a challenge more in an environment. Africa have the highest level of challenge today. That means we have more opportunities in Africa than you have in America or than you have in Dubai. The concept of leaving Africa to Europe is because of lack of understanding of opportunities. Anytime a people are worrying or complaining over a particular thing, as an entrepreneur, you will be observing what people are complaining the most about, and that is an opportunity. Don't forget this. Anytime people are worrying or complaining over anything, as an entrepreneur, observe where their complaint is highest. That is an opportunity. Anytime complaint is highest, an entrepreneur sees opportunity. Someone was sent into India to go and introduce shoe to them. It's a shoe company. So he was sent to go and represent the shoe company in India. As at then, India was not using shoes. Everyone was going barefooted. So when he got there, he saw what was happening. He said, this is actually the wrong place. This is actually what? The wrong place for me to introduce our brand. So he told them, nobody here uses shoes. Nobody here believes in shoes. In fact, there's no market for shoe here. And he returned. But another person now took the opportunity and said, let me go. And he went. And when he got there, he discovered they were not using shoe. He settled down and started discovering how to make Indians accept using shoes in their country. So he introduced shoes to them. He told them the importance of wearing shoes and the dangers of not using shoes. Before you know it, people started embracing shoes. Praise the Lord. And as people embraced shoes, what happened? He had to call his home company and say, please, we have a very large market here. We need more shoes into India. So one person was looking at the place and did not see opportunity. Another person was looking at the place and was seeing opportunities. Now, what are your characters? We'll be running very fast. What are the characters of an entrepreneur? I have to do this before we go into the commandments. Entrepreneurs are passionate about their projects and assignments. They are passionate about their projects and assignments. Now, understand this, that people have abused the use of passion. There is a widespread of abuse of passion. People say anything you are doing, you have to be passionate about it. It's very good. It's not bad. But I want you to understand this today. What is trending now is that you should consider a project that is worthwhile. A project that is worthy, and a sector that is worth giving your time and attention and develop a passion for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's different from what you have passion for. What you have passion for might not make you a global entity. Are you getting what I'm saying? There are some people that have passion for something that is very backward. But today you have to look into the world and discover a sector that has the capacity of projecting you beyond your own widest imagination and develop a passion for it. Praise the Lord. If you develop a passion for real estate, you develop a passion for food processing, you develop a passion for construction, you develop passion for entertainment or fashion or maybe cooking and so on, you develop passion. It might not be something you have passion for, but it is something that has the capacity of projecting whatever potential that is there in you out. It's something that has the capacity of taking all your time, your meaningful time. So, example, let's say internet, for instance. Now, Mark Zuckerberg is in charge of Facebook, and Facebook has to do with social interaction. Is that right? Facebook has to do with social interaction. Now, the man doesn't have to have passion. An entrepreneur now must not just have passion for that, but he can discover that this is an industry that is missing in the world today, and I want to explore that industry irrespective of whether he has passion for it or not, and he'll begin to develop himself into that industry and then develop a passion for that industry. So AI, artificial intelligence, is taking the world. This is the reason why Dangote always explore new ground. Dangote might have no business with cement, he might have no business with rice, but because of the opportunity in that sector, he will develop a passion for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is that. So we have to be passionate about your project or assignment. You discover your assignment, you discover your project, and increase a passion for it. Number 2, they are quick to spot problems and solve them. The characters of an entrepreneur, they are quick to spot problems and solve them. When you are not a good problem solver or problem identifier, you are not an opportunist and you are not a good entrepreneur. Entrepreneur spots problem in an environment and begins to solve them. Now, let me wake us up a little. How many of you know that within this sitting environment now, there are about 6 to 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 problems, challenges that is going on just within us now that requires solution? You know that, right? Maybe you don't know, but you might know. If we have air condition here, it will solve a lot of problems, right? Okay, air condition, right? Now, the challenge of getting air condition is that it will be very expensive, right? Now, the challenge of not getting an expensive air condition is that there should be another kind of air condition that will not be too expensive, that will be affordable, and then everybody can use, right? Now, you are bringing it down. You are bringing it down. You are trying to solve a particular problem. There are other problems. As you are seated now, there are other problems. There are other challenges. As you are seated now, there are other, just within us here, there are up to 10 different challenges that are needed, that requires instant problem solving as we are seated here instantly. Praise the Lord. So an entrepreneur is quick to spot and solve problems. Number 3, they are open-minded to new ways of doing things. They are open-minded to new ways of doing things. Always look at how you have always carried your project or carried yourself in principle, because your business will not go more than the kind of principle you have always kept. If you are somebody who is difficult to change, difficult to adjust, difficult to absorb new ways or new ideas, it will be difficult for your business to embrace new opportunities. Whereas our businesses are supposed to be identifiable anyhow. We are supposed to project our projects or businesses so that opportunities can easily come in. Do you understand what I mean? There is a way your businesses can be projected and opportunities can easily come in. I will get to that. So they are open-minded. You have to be open-minded. Be open-minded. The reason why some companies are running better than some companies today is because the companies that are running better are open-minded. The reason why churches are running better than some today is because the ones that are running faster are open-minded to innovation, to creativity, to understanding the best and the strategic way of doing things, because time will always change. Our former days and today are not the same. Today runs faster, more than 1 million times than what it used to be before. Do you understand me? Let's take, for instance, maybe you can say America got independence in 18 something, and they stayed up to 100 or 150 years or 200 years before they started. Somebody has told me that before they started even discovering themselves and before their economy started booming. I asked the person, the year America got independence and the year Nigeria is thriving today, are they the same? They are not the same. Praise the Lord. Now, can you remember any breakthrough projects that happened like 3 months ago? Any breakthrough project or breakthrough products that happened like 3 months ago? Every day, a product that comes out today, another one outsmarts it tomorrow. In those days, it was not like that. In those days, a product can win the market for 1 year. But today, a product is coming out today. An electric car is coming out from Tesla. Before you know it, Audi is producing an electric car. Before you know it, even Samsung is producing. Apple is producing an electric car. So everybody wants to outbeat or beat the breakthrough of today. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the time we are is high flying. So if you want to maintain an old concept of doing things, you will be left out. That's the truth. The time we are now does not wait for anybody. It's either you are following or you are going to be left behind. Do you understand me? I'll use Bill Gates' definition of internet. He said the internet is like a tidal wave. Either you swim or you drown. So if you don't look at the trend of time and the changes that is occurring in your time and know how to be up to date, look, forget it. It will not last. All right, number 4. They are opportunists. They can see things differently from the way others view it. They are opportunists. They can see things differently from the way others view it. A CEO of SIPA was discussing with some people yesterday. They were telling me about a product, and he was already imagining how it's going to run in the Uyo training and the Port Harcourt training. He was already imagining that. So you can see things. Like I can see the food business now different from what people are seeing there. I can see this business different from what you are seeing. Some of you might be coming to learn just the skill, but an entrepreneur is seeing an opportunity behind the skill. Now, let me shock you with this. The Jews have the highest investors in fashion. In the US and in Europe, the Jews. But they don't sow. They don't sow. But they control the market. How? So don't be surprised at the end of the day, I might not be designing and I will be controlling the markets of fascinators. Don't be surprised. So an entrepreneur sees things beyond what every other person is seeing. One time, Bill Gates was telling the mother, can't you think? He was seeing something different from what even the mother was seeing. And the mother would say, come on, go and clean up those mess in the kitchen. Go and clean up those mess in the house. Whereas this guy was seeing things. He was seeing things. He was seeing possibility that every other person was not seeing. How can you tell people that you are seeing a possibility that computers will interact in the nearest future, and there is nothing that connects each computer to another? So you see things, you see the air, you are imagining what this air can be channeled into. You see the land, you are imagining what the land can be channeled into. The breakable plates we are using now is being produced by concentrating large volume of sand, putting pressure on them, and many people use it to produce breakable plates. So an entrepreneur sees beyond what every other person is seeing. God will open our eyes in Jesus' name. I think I'm not seeing some people here. Number 5, they are competitive. You are not ready to enjoy competition. If you are not ready to enjoy competition, then you are not ready to venture and succeed in the field of entrepreneurship. They are competitive. They are competitive. So whenever they enter into the system, they introduce their competition. I see something about Lazarus in the Bible. Sorry, I'm digressing. I'm not supposed to digress into the Bible. I'm supposed to take a pure business class, but I'll digress a little bit. I see something about Lazarus in the Bible. Lazarus was a short man, and then there was a crowd that was all over the place, and he wanted to see Jesus. He had to create his own competition and left the crowd and took a step climbing the tree in order to see Jesus. And Jesus left the crowd and focused on Lazarus and said, I'm coming to your house this night. Do you understand what I'm saying? I see Zacchaeus. That's Luke chapter 9. Sorry, Zacchaeus. So Zacchaeus, Jesus had to turn around and look at Zacchaeus and say, I'm coming to your house this night to spend the time with you. No other person got the attention of Jesus except Zacchaeus. So you have to define and create your own competition. Your capacity and ability to bring out your competition makes you to stand out in the field of entrepreneurship. So I will tell you how you can create your competition. I don't know if I have time for that, but one of the ways you can create your competition is building a unique selling point. What you call USP, unique selling point. Every product or every entrepreneur, every producer, every manufacturer must have something in his product that makes his product different from every other product. There's something that makes Coca-Cola to stand out. They will not reveal it to any other person. There's something that makes Guinness to stand out, the small stout. They cannot reveal it to any other person. There must be something about your product. Look, let me tell you, you might be going into the market with something that is already there, but it's only your USP, your unique selling point, that can make you to stand out. So one of the ways to create your own competition is by introducing your unique selling points, a uniqueness about your products. So number 6, they are strong-willed and determined. Number 6, they are strong-willed and determined. I'm telling you about your nature. I'm telling you about your character. This is based on what they see that others do not see. They are strong-willed and determined. If you have ever seen a person who can be broke today and wealthy tomorrow, is an entrepreneur. If you have ever seen someone that can take risk no matter the situation or circumstance, is an entrepreneur. They are determined. You've seen somebody fail and fail and fail and fail and fail, and yet he's still following that project, he's still following that vision, he's still following that assignment. That is the spirit of an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur does not start and fail and disappears from the scene. No, he's strong-willed and is determined to make things work according to that standard that he wants to initiate. I was in a presentation for my project. I'm running a project that wants to introduce food packaging, smart food in this country. I will not tell you more about it because I'm not interested in fighting anyone for plagiarism. So it's a project that is introducing smart food all over this country and beyond, both in Africa, so that everything you are supposed to buy in the market, you can buy them on the traffic and in a packet. You don't need to go to market. So when I was making a presentation before these Chinese investors, so they were asking me, we already have Dangote that is in charge of food. So how are you going to beat the market? This guy is in charge of food in Nigeria and is controlling controlling the government. So what will you do to handle? I said, we have already created a strategy or an avenue to handle that. I was very conscious of my audience, so I was not very much ready to expose the strategy or the avenue. So till now, until tomorrow, I think I'm the only one, except one or two other persons who are involved as members of board of directors of the company. I think we are the only ones that know how we intend to take over the food market in Nigeria. So apart from skill, there are other things that an entrepreneur must do. So these are things that make him to be strong-willed. Praise the Lord. So they build their confidence and strong discipline over the years. Number 7, they build their confidence and strong discipline over the years. Over the years, they build their confidence and strong discipline. I might be the first to introduce a concept of selling and at the same time make every consumer to become my marketer. I might be the first to make everybody that consumes my product to also be my marketer. And as they consume it, they are paid for consuming. So because they are paid for consuming, they will want to introduce the product they go to buy from the shop. They want to introduce it to somebody else, because as they introduce the product to somebody else, they are being paid for it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is a concept. It could be a concept for anybody, but we'll not explain further. So they build their confidence and strong discipline over the years. Note that projects and assignment produces the best out of you to make you stronger. Projects and assignments. The more you embark on project, the more you embark on assignment, it produces the best from you, makes you stronger, daring, organized, disciplined, and confident. So anytime you are not embarking on a project, you are killing productivity. You are killing creativity. Anytime. I don't care whether it's a project that costs billions of naira or billions of dollars. You have to be on a particular project every time. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to be on a project when every time. So after now, you are going to take a pen and make a list of a project that you are going to start. Please don't worry about money. Entrepreneurs are risk takers. I'm coming to that. They are dangerous risk takers. Entrepreneurs are dangerous risk takers. I had to turn down the volume of this thing so that the voice will not go too far. We are giving this lesson for this class. We are dangerous risk takers. That is to say, an entrepreneur can go broke as often as possible, and they can even get into multi-billions as often as possible. So when an entrepreneur gets his money, he's not looking at what to wear or how to look. He's looking at his project. After today, if you don't have a project, there's no need for you to be alive. There's no need for you to be alive. You must have a project. So one of the assignments we are doing at the end of this session is to have our projects. So you can, an entrepreneur, I was thinking, when this program started, Daddy said something. The apostle over this commission, he said he's planning of even going into real estate. If he have money like 200 million or thereabout, he was going to go into real estate, buy property and build and so on. And I was wondering, because some people who are in oil and gas, if they have 200 million, they can move vessels over to Ghana, and then they can make multiple millions of dollars. That's the truth. And then those people can multiply money faster. So because some people have better understanding of how to multiply money, they can move faster than others. So you see some people taking risks because of the level of understanding they have about how to multiply the money. Even though they go broke, they are working on something vital and they are moving faster. Do you understand me? So in case you are going broke because you are investing into your project, please keep on investing. Tell your neighbor, keep on investing. Number 9, we are creative. We are creative. A creative person is one that makes something new out of unimaginable source or product. He makes something new out of unimaginable source. I just talked about compressing of sand to get you a breakable place that you will use for our food. From sand, that thing comes out. So a creative person can look at things and create. So we are creative. But an innovative person improves on what is already existing. An innovative person improves on what is already existing. Over 12 or 15 years ago, I discovered that we can have a digital pulpit in all our auditoriums in Nigeria and beyond. Digital pulpit that nobody will have to come to the pulpit with his Bible or with his book or with his iPad or with his laptop and all the rest of them for a long time. But we have a challenge in Nigeria. That's why if you are teaching entrepreneurship in Nigeria and you are teaching entrepreneurship in US, the concepts are going to be different. If you can survive in Nigeria, you can survive every other part of the world. If I was not in Nigeria, maybe that product would have hit the market long time ago. But even as we speak, that product have not even hit the market. So creative people, unimaginable things from sources that you don't even believe can produce something. Number 10, entrepreneurs engages on constant flow of ideas. Constant flow of ideas. Constant flow of ideas. From now, create time to think. From your 24 hours of the day, create time to think. Create time to think. So we are going to run our 2 minutes, 3 minutes exercise. 3 minutes exercise. Look for a business name. Just write a business name. Write a business name. If you don't have any idea of a business name, write your name backward. Write your name backward or make an acronym of your name, Ventures Nigeria Limited. Take up a business name. In your paper, write a business name. A business name. If you don't have a business name, if you have one before, write it now. A business name. Because an entrepreneur must have a brand. You must have a tag. A brand is what you should introduce. Your brand should introduce you. An entrepreneur should be conscious of his or her brand. Your brand should introduce you. As you are walking, your shoe should be your brand. Your clothes should be your brand. Stop advertising Louis Vuitton or advertising any designer, Versace, Gucci. Stop advertising those things. Entrepreneurs don't do those things. Entrepreneurs engages their brand. Their brand is what they advertise. God told Abraham, I will make you great and I will make your name great. Your name. So your name now is your brand. Create a business name. Have you done that? Now remember that your name must be synonymous with your project. It must be synonymous with your projects. Okay? So like cuisine, whatever, chi cuisine, as normally people will know that is for food. So your name must be synonymous with your kind of project. Have you done that? Nigerian Limited or enterprises. If you are registering a business name as Nigerian Limited, that means a limited liability company. The cost of registration is always higher than you are registering a business like a business name, which is either ventures or enterprises. That's Somachi Enterprises or Chisom Ventures. Do you understand me? Chisom Ventures is different from Chisom Nigerian Limited. If you are doing that, to put up a name, and if you want to register these names, it's very simple. You do name search. You take it to people who can do name search for you, or go to CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission. Corporate Affairs Commission, come back for consulting. I will help you to get all those things done. So after writing a name, then write a motto under your name. A motto is what you want your name to be known for. What you want your name to be known for. Union Bank Big, strong, reliable. First Bank, since what? They are capitalizing on their fidelity. He said, we have fidelity, we keep our word. So what do you want your own name to be known for? Bring it down. You can have an idea or a list of about 5, 6, or 7. Write what you want your name to be known for. Have you done that? Have you done that? Please make it simple and people friendly. Make it very simple and people friendly. Something, you understand? Food. We are making food easy, affordable, and available at your doorstep. That is home delivery. You already know. When you put your name, you put that under the food. Available, affordable, at your doorstep. They know that you are delivering it to their house. Are you getting what I'm saying? So make a motto must always be in your letterhead. After now, you create a letterhead. Now, remember this. You are going to use your contact address, your home address. That house address that you are paying landlord, and then the house is not generating anything for you. From now, you are going to use that house as your contact address. So, under your motto, you put your contact address and then give space for email address. Because after now, you are going to open an email for your motto, for your name, and then your phone number. Give space for that. So after now, you design a letterhead or something that you can use for presentation or introduction. I know you have not registered though, but I'm updating you. Do you understand? You can go as fast as that. Then develop a unique selling point for your brand. Something that makes it to stand out from others already existing. Something that can make your brand to stand out from others that are already existing. When it comes to a cap that is beyond your imagination, call Afolabi Fashions. I've just told you something. You use something when it comes to this, that just give them anything that is global. When it comes to a fascinator that is beyond your imagination, or we give you something that is even in your heart. You understand? We pull creativity from your heart out. I'm talking about fashion. Web designing. We solve all your IT related, anything. You create something that is beyond even your scope. Let that thing be pushing you so that people will be asking you, are you sure you can do this? Then you start calling your instructor and say, look at what they are telling me. They ask me if I'm sure. Are you sure? The instructor will say, don't worry, go ahead. And you go ahead and do what? And you start getting the jobs. When you get the jobs, what will happen? You call her and say, please, so come, we have a deal. Now we are going to do this deal in partnership. I am not so efficient in it. I'm not going to be greedy. So what will be your own stake here? She will tell you. You discuss with her. You go ahead and execute the job. Your first project is gone. And you are looking for the second one. It's your company that is running it. Do you understand? I hope you understand me. In summary, write problems. Okay, this makes your own to stand out. In summary, write the problems your brand will solve for people. The problems your brand will solve for people. The opportunity it will provide for humanity. What are the problems you think your brand will solve for people? What are those problems? Making this affordable and available, making this, making this, delivering a people-friendly service 24/7. We are always at your service 24. What are the problems your brand can solve? And then what are the opportunities that it can provide? And what you intend to see in the nearest future about your business. What do you intend to see in the nearest future about your business? Becoming a household name in entertainment or in production. Becoming a one-stop spot for all your blah, blah, blah related needs. What is that you intend to see in future? You have not started now, but you know it. You have a vision. You have a clue of it. Put it down. Now, if you have put this thing down, you are trying to form a vision statement. Where you are going, the problems you want to solve. You are trying to form a vision statement. It's very important. Every time you wake up and you look at that, your vision statement, you know that this is where we are heading to. this is the kind of business we want to introduce. Maybe you want to introduce a business that has defrauded a lot of people, but you are coming in another direction. You introduce the concept of integrity, transparency, honesty, and sincerity. Before you know it, people will begin to look for you and begin to wonder how they can do business with you. Do you understand what I'm saying? So look at things from that angle. So when you have done that, you have been able to structure your vision statement. The vision is where you are heading to, where you are going, using what you have at the moment to build up to that level is your ministry. Ministry is a working vision. When you are working on a vision, you have already started the ministry. That's a working vision. Anytime you start working on your vision, you have started ministry. You can be in a ministry, not being in church. It can be in another category, capacity, or dimension. Do you understand? Then the next thing is 5 ways by which you intend to reach that goal. How do you want to reach that goal? How do you want to make this vision to be accomplished? I'm not talking about where you are going now. I'm talking of how you want to get there. Delivering people-friendly services to our people by giving quality and affordable products. By doing this, by doing that. That is how. How? By setting up a training center where people can easily come and get trained. By giving people the best service for their money. By giving. So the how is your mission. Your mission is how you intend to achieve your vision. If you don't have a how, then you have not fully satisfied the concept of your vision. You must have a how behind it. How do I want to achieve this thing? Is your mission. Do you understand? So how you can solve people's problem, provide opportunities for humanity through projects, and reach the future target, the future brand, and the projection of the future. So now I have prepared you as an entrepreneur. I think the time has come. Because I can't talk about 10 commandments of entrepreneurs when I don't really have you together as at the foundation level. So can we rush this now? Can we rush this? 5-10 minutes, 10 commandments of an entrepreneur. Are you writing? Number 1, build a strong network. Build a strong network. The first resource of rich people is a wide network. Right, so because this book is sold out. This book is sold out. 2013. It's sold out. The first resource of rich people is a wide network. Build a strong network. Now, some of you, they add you to some WhatsApp platform. You just withdraw. Some of you, they add you to some channels that you withdraw. One of the cheapest ways of building network is to be identifying with some. I don't mean that you must be in all, but at least if they allow you to introduce what you do, then you have already engaged people who are far away from you. I run a WhatsApp platform that have membership across the world, both Asia, Europe, every part of the world, across the world. So somebody can just get in there and they will have contacts with people from every part of the. If I want to run something in any part of Nigeria, I can easily get people from that platform and tell you the truth. So build a wide network. One of the advantages of resource persons coming for this program is that their network is expanding. Their network is expanding. Yes, that's the truth. Because if some of you are smart and sharp, some of you might have a relative that is in Ogun State or a different state and that wants to do something like this in their subsequent program, or they have a wedding or something and you are going to take the job, and before you know it, your resource person is in that state. Their network is expanding. So build a wide network. Concentrate on how your network can expand. It will not expand by jumping up and down. The social media is there. If you upload your products on Facebook and boost it, when I mean boosting, pay like 700 naira for adverts. Facebook can boost it into so many contacts. And before you know it, so many people across can have access to that product. Praise the Lord. All right, constantly build and nurture your network. Be very conscious about your network. Create strong relationship, most especially with quality people. That's under building a strong network. Create strong relationship, most especially with quality people. When I wanted to set up the board of directors of our project company, the food processing and repackaging company, when we wanted to set it up, it was based on some relationships I've built online that brought about the quality members of board of directors of the company. Based on relationship. We are going to run some programs now based on network. So don't always despise network. Don't despise contacts. Are you listening to me? Don't despise contacts. Some of you girls that like blocking people. There are other things you can do with some people other than what they are asking from you. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Be a business person. There are other things that you can even make some people to help you do other than what they are asking from you. Friendship, no. You know it's not possible, but please, do you know about this business? Do you know about this? There's something I feel we can do together. And before you know, you begin to engage the person. Develop a concept or package that you and that person can run that is different from what the person is asking. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't understand? Number 2, master the art of leverage. Master the art of leverage. This is very important. Rich people use leverage while poor people don't. Rich people use leverage while poor people don't. Leverage was explained as a lever. A lever in physics is something that stands like a triangular form. That's a lever. So you put a wood on top of it. It can project something from one point to another. It can lift an object from one point to another. When you step on it like this, that object can move. So that is what is called leverage. So leverage helps you to shoulder some of your responsibilities instead of going through the challenges of how to do this and how to do that. A leverage will help you to do what? To shoulder those responsibilities, and you begin to enter into dreamland. Because while we are teaching about entrepreneur, some of you will be thinking about money, how to generate capital. And then, frankly speaking, money is synonymous to an entrepreneur the same way musical instrument is synonymous to a musician. So an entrepreneur without capital might be incapacitated. The same thing, a musician without musical instrument will be incapacitated. Do you understand? So how do I now solve this issue? We are saying that rich people use leverage while poor people don't. Use other people's money and other people's resources to actualize your dream. Other people's money, other people's resources. How? Now, I have heard some people, I have some mentors. I have my fathers. Okay? But when it comes to ministry, there are some things I practice. But when it comes to business, there are some business mentors I will also look at what they are practicing and I will follow. Are you getting what I'm saying? All of them might not flow at all capacity. Now, some people don't believe that you can collect money that you don't have, maybe access fund in order to start up your project. It's possible. It's doable. If you have access to fund that you can use to start your project, it is possible. But in ministry, I will not do it. But in business, I will do it. In ministry, because I'm following those who have conquered the ground in ministry. But in business, there are people who have gone far in business more than the other people. So I will rather follow their own principle in business. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there are people who can have access to loan, to access in order to handle a project in business. But we have to tell you the truth. In 2 Kings chapter 4, when Elisha said, go and borrow not a few, he was not telling her to borrow at the beginning of something. He was telling her to borrow when the project was already clear and she was next to manifestation. That means if you are at the point of starting to prepare your project, your vision, that is the wrong time to even start looking for how to source for fund like borrowing. Are you getting what I'm saying? In John chapter 6, Jesus asked the disciples, what do you have? And they started looking within themselves to collect what a small boy had. That was a way of collecting what what they don't have. But they were at the point whereby there will be a miracle and a manifestation. So when you are not ready, the children of Israel did not borrow from Egyptians until they were ready to leave Egypt. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the wrong understanding of borrowing has shattered a lot of business people. You know you have some personal challenges. You know you have some personal this. And you are looking for money to go and borrow to start your business. And you have no plan about the business. Please suspend that borrowing. Go and work on your business. Prepare yourself. Develop yourself. Start planning, putting things together. When you are ripe for that money, if God is here to provide, or God will surely provide. Amen. Now, if you are led to borrow, when you are ready for that project, please go ahead and consider. You consider because you know you are not borrowing for your personal use. You are collecting money for the sake of the business. There's no business. Okay, should I tell you one of the advantages? Pastor Matthew was talking something one time. He said, if I'm constructing this road alone, I'm running this road construction alone. Now, I am not collecting money from Zenith Bank and so on. I will do it according to my pace and according to my test. But assuming Zenith Bank money is involved in this road, Bank PHB or GT Bank's money is involved, and Julius Berger are also involved. Do you know what will happen? Zenith Bank will send their representative. Everybody will want to make sure they monitor that project to make sure it succeeds because they have invested money into that project. Are you getting what I'm saying? So the more I align with such people, whether using their money or their resources to carry out that project, the more they help me to handle some major responsibility and bear the risk with me. And then I will just relax because I'm not the only one that will lose if that project fails. Do you understand? So there is time for everything. There is time for everything. Number 3, always strive for personal and professional growth. Always strive for personal and professional growth. Always strive for personal and professional growth. Please, I want to advise us. There are so many ways to access funds today. Sometimes he might not be borrowing money. Sometimes he might be accessing some hedge funds like this man was talking yesterday. Sometimes he might be trading some funds, some bank instruments on some foreign trading platforms in order to generate major fund for major projects. All these things are possible today. There are some sovereign funds that have been reserved by some countries all over the world for developing countries in Africa. Now, some people will not access those funds because they don't have a capable project that can be used to access those funds. There are people who have projects that can be used to access those funds. But those projects will not just be approved directly. It will be approved into a trading platform, a private placement program. It will be approved into that platform, and that platform will have to trade and generate funds for that project in order to solve that project's need. So this case now, you are using scheme, you are using wisdom, but you have a method of financial engineering that is lacking to a lot of people. So always strive for personal and professional growth. Invest in yourself for excellence. Growth pays big dividends. Be bigger than the problem. For you to be bigger than a problem, that means you have invested a lot in yourself. Do you know the best investment on earth? Maybe I want to talk about it now. The best investment on earth. Do you know? I want to talk about it now. I want to talk about it. The best investment on earth. Do you know the best investment on earth? The best business to invest into. The best business to invest into is in your mind. The best business to invest into is in your mind. If you are updating yourself very well, sooner or later you stand out. You become different. Number 4, give more than you receive. An entrepreneur must give more than he receives. So if this mama is doing maybe fast food, and then this man is doing fast food, and they are on the same street, this man can take all clients from her without any jazz, without any mago-mago, because she uses this procedure of giving more than she receives. Everybody that gives more will always attract more people. So how can you give more? Do market survey. Before you start your business, enter the shop of the person that is taking everybody in that area. Just pretend as if you are a customer you want to buy and see why people are coming there. Go and do research. How can I handle this same thing? Do your research very well. By the time they see that you are giving better, this one there, she's not using some fishes and some orishirishi, but this new person, she added orishirishi. How much is orishirishi? But you have added and you have multiplied customers, and before you know it, what happens? You are giving more than you are receiving. You say a plate is 500, but this one own a plate. If you see a plate of this person's own, man, there's something happened here recently when somebody started this business, food business across the street. We just left this woman and started patronizing the other person because she was giving more than she was receiving. She didn't advertise more. Just one day. We say, is that so? Forget it. There are strategies. Praise the Lord. Okay, when everyone follows this principle, it's a win-win situation. Customers receive more than what they expect from employees. Employees receive more than what they expect from management. Management receive more than what they expect from the entrepreneur. Because when you are giving more, even your workers, you are giving more. Through dividends and profits, business is doing great. Therefore, everybody is happy. Your employees are receiving more. If they put in 8 hours, they are being paid, and at the end of the month, you are even doing bonus and showing incentives. Are you getting what I'm saying? So, let's rush. Number 5. When forming a team, hire people that are better than you. When forming a team, hire people that are better than you. I'm talking about a team now. So right now, begin to look at some people in this hall as your potential team members. Hire people that are better than you, that can give you far much better knowledge and experience of that project. Far much better than you. Hire them. You have a formidable team. Don't hire people who have no commitment for growth. You need people who can run your business. If you are afraid that your employees will leave and start a company who will compete with your business, then accept the fact that your business will fail. Big companies are run by a great team. Big companies are run by a great team. So hire people that are better than you. For you to hire small team people, that shows that the company will still be at that level. Strive. Create a package. When Google was coming up, they know they cannot pay the MD of Coca-Cola, but they had to create a concept to accommodate the man. And before you know it, they told him, look, we can give percentage of income of this project, of this company, when you come and work with us. That was how the man resigned. You can create a package, a concept, an agreement platform that will make even the person that is so hot in that field to say, yes, I'm interested, I will buy into this vision. So hire people that are better than you. Do not reinvent the wheel. Number 6, do not reinvent the wheel. Do not change something that is working. That's the meaning. Don't change something that is working. If your strategy is yielding results, please maximize it, improve on it, but don't change it. You see most coaches today, when they start winning a match, they want to change. And before you know it, they will start suffering embarrassing defeats. Are you getting what I'm saying? So do not reinvent the wheel. Although entrepreneurs must be innovative, the bottom line is that we must exceed customer expectation through excellent products and services. So instead of changing what is already making waves, why not increase publicity about it? Increase comments about it. Increase awareness about it. Let people know that from here to here, why we stand out is because we give what our other people don't give. Our customers are very happy. Go to the comment section, see how our customers are really excited about our products. You know, you keep expanding that thing that is making you to do what? To win. Are you following? Number 7, honor your money jars. Honor your money jars. These are commandments that a group of wealthy and professional entrepreneurs gather together to arrive, and they discover these are secrets on how anyone can succeed as an entrepreneur. Honor your managers. Practice excellent money management in your home and business. One of the things we do during our sessions is to bring accountants who can teach us the art of bookkeeping. Every morning, after now, every morning when you register your company, just go and open an account. Are you listening to me? Every money that comes to you, let it pass through your company account. Are you listening to me? Every money that comes to you, let it pass through your company account. One day you can enter into your bank and now access any kind of financial services that you require. And they will look for the running of your account before they will say, yes, this person, his account can do that. All right, I'm out of time. Learn to give an A to people. Number 8, learn to give an A to people. Believe in people. Most of the time, people can reach their potential when somebody believes in them. So learn to give an A to people. Believe in people, congratulate people, celebrate people around you. Give an A to people. Number 9, share your blessings. Share your blessings. Practice charity. Every Christian knows the importance of sowing into the kingdom. Every Christian knows the importance of tithing. Every Christian knows the importance of sowing seed faith. Seed of faith is that you are believing God for a miracle and I'm using a sacrifice to seal it up. It's no more my responsibility. It's now God's responsibility to do what? To intervene. That's seed of faith. Every Christian knows the importance of tithing. Tithing is 1/10 of your income. Read the richest man in Babylon. The ancient Babylon built their wealth by setting aside 10% of all their income. Every now and then, they set out 10% of all their income. And they taught the importance of setting out 10% of their income. It gives you a review of whatever is coming to you. So what God told the children of Israel, Babylonians practiced it, even though they were not carrying it to God as a seed unto God for his intervention. So every time you preserve 10% of your income, you are telling yourself, okay, this was how much I was able to make today as an income. You are reminding yourself. You have financial statements. Please do not be the one that is in charge of your finance. And don't collect anything that has no record. No matter whatever it is, have record for all your expenditures. Have record for all your income. Time will come when some directors will come and start making query. Because you have record, what will happen? You'll be able to solve them. Do you know that if you want to upgrade your company to a PLC, you have to provide financial statements? Even when you are going for tax receipts, you have to provide financial statements. So your financial statements per annum is what has come in, what has gone out, and the income you have been able to do what? To generate. Do you understand? So every income that comes to you must be traceable and it must have record. But please always push it through your corporate account. Share your blessings, practice charity. The more you share, the more wealth will be given to you and the more you can share. Number 10, love your business partners, customers, and employees as you love yourself. Love your business partners, customers, and employees as you love yourself. Treat business partners, customers, and employees the way you would want to be treated. Treat business partners, customers, and employees the way you want to be treated. Treat business partners, customers, and employees the way you want to be treated. Do you know what Bill Gates said? Bill Gates said the worst customer is the customer that never complains. Because a customer that did not complain, once he leaves your business area, he goes out to tell 5 other people how bad you treated him or her. And 5 people will tell another 5 people how bad they were treated. And those 10 people will tell another 10 people it is increasing to 20. 20 people will tell another 20 people it's increasing to 40. And so on and so forth. The same way direct selling approach is yielding result today. It's still the same way direct castigating approach is going to yield results. It's going to backfire. It will have a back end against your project and business. So practice the golden rule. Do unto others what you expect others to do unto you. So treat customers, partners well, and you excel and you exceed. Hallelujah. Now don't forget, there is a place for partnership. There is a place for distributorship. There is a place for marketers in every project. You can have partners, you can have distributors, you can have marketers. In Africa, we hardly give room for partners. That is why a lot of businesses stay on the ground longer than usual. Today, because of the age of networking, which we are, it is eminent and important that you always consider the importance of having an alliance in order to execute your business. Look for 2-3 people come together. This one drag his resources, this one drag his knowledge, this one drag his connection, and you form a corporation and start that business. And before you know it, with the strength of 3 or 4 persons, the business will thrive and leave the ground floor. You people have an agreement that is legalized. Are you getting what I'm saying? From there you go. Google is thriving. They were 2. Some of the people, some of the companies you are hearing, no company, Bill Gates had up to 12 to 13 people. Are you getting what I'm saying? May God bless us and inspire us the more in Jesus' name. I hand over right now to CEO Dr. Joseph.
Please put your hands together for Jesus. I'm actually waiting for you to disconnect so that it will enter.